Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Jefferson Street Sound, and we're fortunate to have with us to talk about Jefferson Street Sound, Mr. Lorenzo Washington. Mr. Washington has been involved with the Jefferson Street Sound and, in a real sense, with the whole idea of Jefferson Street for the longest, and he will give us some information about his background, his education, and some of the things that were important in a real sense that eventually led him to us this morning. And let me welcome you to the show this morning, Mr. Washington.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Haney. I'm glad to be here. Honored to be here in your presence.
Well, I certainly appreciate that.
Yes, sir. My name is Lorenzo Washington, and my journey started to Jefferson Street back when I was like 12 years old. I was a shoe shine boy at Lonnie Young's shoe repair downtown. That's when my first job started. Then I went from there to Hoover's service station. Hoover's gas station. I worked there until I was about 18 years old. Matter of fact, bought my first car when I was there. Then I started my first business when I was 22, 23 years old at Black and White Pig Pit Barbecue. At that point, I went from there to Dillard and Boyce Production. Dillard and Boyce Production was the first black production company on Music Row, and I was a part of that production company. I was a financier during that time. Had an investment there, and when we started that company, or Jesse Boyce and Moses Dillard started that company, we produced at least 4, 5 albums during that time. And
very good.
Now, does this
just go on, yeah, okay. Just go on. You know, I'm listening. You know,
we produced 4 or 5 records during that time. And matter of fact, one of the records that we did during that period went to #2 behind Donna Summers. Donna Summers was #1 on the national disco charts, and we were #2. At that point, we went to a point of producing another album, which was Saturday Night Band, Come On Dance Dance, and that album was nominated for a Grammy. Well, matter of fact, 2 Grammys. And I left from there and went to the barbecue pit, the Lorenzo's Black and White Pig Pit Barbecue.
Pit.
Yes, and I owned the barbecue pit for a number of years. Left from there, and I had gathered another business, and that business was Lorenzo's OTS cleaning service. It was Lorenzo's cleaning service, OTS. And at that point, I moved from there to
go on.
Is this not this?
You can just go on.
Yes.
Go on.
Okay.
Yeah,
At that point, I produced. Was into producing disco, not disco, but hip hop music. We started another company on. This is not working.
Let me say this, Mr. Washington. We've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds on this segment here, and all we want you to do is to tell us, as you are telling us, and don't worry about anything else, just tell us what you're telling us, and I can appreciate that. And from what I gather from what you're saying, as we get ready to end this first segment, is that you've been involved on Jefferson Street for a very long time. You've been an entrepreneur, and you have produced records with such notables as Moses Dillard and as well
And
as Jesse
Jesse
Boyce,
Boyce.
two individuals that are well known, not only
Right.
to Jefferson Street, et
Exactly.
cetera, but I
Exactly.
also know these individuals. And so, yeah, that's essentially. And so what we're going to get ready to do is to have this first commercial break, after which we will come back and we'll have an 8-minute segment, and we can pick up at some of the things that you've talked about, especially dealing with Jefferson Street sound. You see, and so you are doing well, and you're doing exactly what we want you to do, and you don't have to hesitate. We want you to say anything that you wish to say, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.